Hello, hello. Just gonna double check that this is working. Let me also get my music playing real quick. Hello. Alright, chat's working. I don't know what happened earlier. After you asked Minette about No Man's Sky, I just didn't see any of the chats going after that. So I thought I was just genuinely alone and that everybody left me. Which I probably should have thought for a second before I had jumped to that conclusion, admittedly. So that's my fault. But we're good now. We're good now. Alright. Well, let's just send the... Alright, well, I'm just gonna send the link into the chat. Thought my No Man's Sky update would be done by now. It's still going? That means we gotta get the shiny. That's what that means. Okay. Here we are. We already got a couple people here, so I'm gonna get started pretty swiftly. I'm gonna take a sip of my diet soda. Alright. Yeah, I'm about ready to get started. Let's get into it. Is my FPS up to where it needs to be? Yes, it is. Okay. Yep, we're good to go. Alright, so we're gonna go to about 11.5k, 11,500 encounters. Assuming it doesn't shine before then. So, yeah, I'm really hoping it's tonight. If I want any chance of finishing this challenge this weekend, it has to happen tonight. Because I don't think I'm going to be able to do it if it happens tomorrow morning or after that. But, I mean, I wouldn't mind if it happened tomorrow. It just means we have to wait to finish the game. Which I think I could probably finish the game tomorrow if it happened tonight. So I'm kind of hoping it happens tonight. Anyways, I'm going to stop stalling. Let's get into it. We're going to start at 10,751. And we're just going to keep going until it shines. Oh, or until it hits 11,500. Whichever one comes first. Alright. Let's go. That's the first one. I'm getting the 144p treatment? Great. Oh, you're so close to finishing the update. Fair enough. I don't even know what happened with my chat because it's working completely fine now. I don't even know how that happened. I'm relatively confident we're going to hit 11k. But I have high hopes that maybe tonight's the night. Well, I don't want to say high hopes. I have mild hopes. I'm not fully banking on it, but... Again, just a mild hunch that... We'll get past 11k and then maybe it'll shine from there. Hopefully we don't have to go beyond that. But, I mean, I guess that's for Speaking to know and for me to find out. Yeah, 500 megabytes warranting 20 minutes is kind of preposterous, to say the least. Yeah, that's true. This is a common theme with at least the last few streams. Where my hopes start high and then they immediately plummet after like the first couple hundred encounters. So maybe I should just stop saying anything, to be frank. Perhaps that's best. Alright, well, this will be our first 25 of the stream. Just gotten out of the gate. I'm quite mellow tonight, but not in like a bad mellow, in like a I feel relaxed kind of way. Well, the reverse psychology thing hasn't worked either, because pretty much, like, I had even not the slightest inkling. Well, I wouldn't say that. Maybe very, very mild inklings at some points here and there leading up to odds, but my punch didn't really start getting any better until I passed odds. So the reverse psychology thing doesn't really work, because I wasn't expecting it at many points during this hunt, and it obviously didn't show up. Well, we're not at 107,777 quite yet. Knowing my luck, we'll probably get there. I know what you meant, by the way. The don't think at all strat? Well, that's kind of the don't expect it strat. I'm not expecting it, I'm not... I think it entails that I'm not really thinking too much. Because usually when I'm consciously doing the resets, I feel like I tend to subconsciously expect it more. I don't know how to really explain that. Because we didn't hunt this in silver. If we had hunted this in Soul Silver, it would have shined so quickly, because I feel like silver makes more sense for Suicune than gold. Even though it's not really either color, I don't know. Silver just seems more correct. That's why Ho-Oh shined so quickly, you know, because we hunted it in its game, and it was like, all right, I'm here for it. Sorry, I just can't type. Bill doesn't discriminate between versions. Maybe he just hates me either way. Who knows? Maybe in the Soul Silver. Maybe in Soul Silver, Bill likes me. Maybe that Bill likes me. Maybe I just chose the game where Bill doesn't like me. Because they technically are different universes. Kind of. My friend just sent me something. Give me a moment. Just take like 3 seconds. Alright, we're good. That's just a theory. Well, I'm no Matt Pat. I'm just Ed. That's me. I already got mildly superstitious. I let Ho-Oh come out of its ball to breathe. If I wanted to be even more superstitious, I would switch to the lead Pokemon, but I'm not gonna do that because technically speaking, getting Thunder Wave off the first turn is our best chance at getting the most attempts to catch it. Like, we miss out on, like, a turn if we don't do that. Which I know is, like, practically nothing. Palindrome, by the way. Practically nothing, but I want to decrease the chance of failing this as much as I can. I already have brought out Espeon for one attempt. There was literally one attempt where I had Espeon out. Just to see what would happen. Alright. I'm not going to do Espeon. I'm going to try to let you be a little 4-leaf clover and see what fucking happens. If I can actually do it. Jesus Christ, I'm like really sucking at it right now. There we go. Sorry, and speed up is a little difficult. Yeah, see? Nothing works. I just need Ho to freaking lock in. Pass some of his shininess onward. I'm sure there is a myth. There's always some sort of cool myths or tales about the legendary Pokemon. Like how Regigigas can move continents. And how Palkia is worse than Dialga. That's canon, by the way. I'm kidding. I love my boy Dialga. Palkia's cool too, but Dialga is superior in every way. Design, battle, typing. Well, actually, Palkia's type is pretty good. Palkia has really good typing. Dragon Steel is pretty sick, though. That's a debatable one. But I love Dialga. If you combine the encounters it took for me to find Zubat and Eevee, it still wouldn't add up to where I'm at for Suicune right now. Yeah, we're above 10,000. We're getting close to 11,000, Alex. It happens, though. It happens. I need my calculator. Midnight. Can you do the math on statistical probability for 11.5k? And what the percentage is that I would see a shiny by that many encounters? I would guess 76, 77. You know what? Listen, if the speaker shows up before 11k, you all can unsubscribe and just, okay, well, don't unsubscribe. But you all can dislike the stream. $75.44, okay. That's rounded up. Shucks. Alright, well, 25% chance that we gotta go higher than that. Kind of. Kind of works like that. If we make it to the 80% mark, which I think is like 13,000 something. I think it's like 13,180 something. 13,186 is, I think, what it is. Something like that. Something close to that number is like the 80% mark. If I don't get it by then, I'd be a little upset. That's the same odds as missing a rock tomb first try, basically. Well, I'd get fully paralyzed, essentially. Well, here's the thing. It's not unlikely. Because you gotta think about it this way. I have done 5 full odds hunts this run. It's a 1 in 4 to get fully paralyzed. Statistically speaking, I guess that means I was due for this. Oh boy, I sure do hope that we can at least stay below double odds at this point. That's all I'm really fucking hoping for. I just don't want to have to go above double odds. Double odds is already really hard to do. Statistically, I would have seen 2 shinies, so going that length to not see 1 is, again, not easy. That being said, I do hope it shines soon. I hope it shines before 11.5k. But that's not up to me. Alright, we're 100 encounters into this stream. Nothing yet. You know, I'm getting bored, but I'm just looking around at random memorabilia in my room. I still have my SAT prep book. from when I was taking them in my, I think I started taking them in like my early senior year of high school. Is when I started taking those. I took the SAT twice. I think my best ever score was a 1230. I didn't, which is a decent score, but it's not like, you know, Ivy League level. Dang, what dang? I just have so much random shit lying around in my room. I'm probably gonna pass down that SAT book to somebody else that might need it. Maybe when my nephew, like 10 years from now, I'll be like, listen, I had this SAT prep book over 10 years ago. It's probably gonna be out of date for the material that they're learning at that point, right? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure really what to do with it. And I wrote in so many of the pages. I studied so much in that book. I would like go like weeks before the SAT. I would like study for like a week or two. For like 3 hours, like an hour or 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours every night. A lot of studying. And all that for just like decent scores, nothing crazy. I wanted like really good scores, but we'll take a 1230. I think if I super scored, I would have probably been in the 1300s, but I didn't end up doing that. It didn't matter. I got into college that I really liked, so it didn't matter. Go take a shit and so you can shines. And I guess we'll see. That'd be really unfortunate, though. Oh, no, 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 no. Ba-da-dum. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum. Here's the thing, Derek. If you do that ROM and I have to shiny hunt that Suicune at 1 in 10,000 odds, at least I'm desensitizing myself to getting to numbers like this, you know what I mean? Lavender Town remix goes hard. Aight. This also isn't Lavender Town. There is a Lavender Town remix on this playlist, which I thought is what you were referring to. Lavender Town, bum 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 bum. Okay. I'm not gonna do it because, you know, YouTube's gonna think my singing is too good, but you know what I mean. This is what, 2,700 now above odds? Jeez. Once we hit 10,922, which is 30 encounters from now, that is full odds plus a third of full odds of encounters. Because a third of full odds is 2,730. And 2,730 plus 8,192 is 10,922. If I'm doing my math right, at least. And if we get through the entirety of tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night streams without a shine as well, that would mean that we are... From 8192, we would be over halfway to double odds, starting from 8192. We'd be closer to double odds than we would be to single odds at that point. Which that would suck. You're back. Nice. 10,900. 100 more and we'll hit our next 1,000. Furt theme goes hard. You know it, man. Furt ain't giving me any luck right now, though. Two minutes, supposedly. Looks like I'm not gonna beat you. Looking like it. Oh man. Suikun's slower. Yeah, I mean, Suikun's a lot slower than that. I gotta think about how the fact that I started this, you know, I think a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I think. Granted, I haven't been consistently hunting in all that time. Definitely been hunting at least throughout half that time, though. I think literally half that time, 3.5 days worth of streaming. Well, not literally, but if we're assuming that 2.5 hour stream is half a day of streaming, then I've done 3.5 every weekend that I get the chance, so. Again, I vividly remember hitting the first 1,000 on this fucking hunt. Well, not vividly, but I remember hitting the first 1,000 on this hunt and being like, well, we made it to 4 digits again. Because, you know, we know how long it took. It didn't take long at all. And now getting to another 1,000 is just like another fucking day. Okay, that was not right. Why the fuck did it... There we go. All of them look the same. Why? Why do all of them look the same? Sure, my dad let out the most catastrophic sneeze I've heard in my life. I was talking about this yesterday too, I think. That shit was so loud. Sometimes what I think about when I'm doing this is like, what's gonna be the quote that leads into a shiny? Mother was dropping off water to my room because she's a nice lady. And I sometimes forget to bring water to my own room. Yeah, I think about that sometimes. Like, what's gonna be the quote leading into one of these? It's gotta be something. I have a feeling it's gonna be something stupid. And I finished. Well, there we go. I lost. Well, Suicune lost. You know, I've been doing all I can. Not me. Suicune. $500 software sets. We've done just a little bit more than that. I think we've done a little bit more than 500. I think just a little more. This looks like I ain't leaving a dislike. Hey, I mean, we still got 52 encounters to see. Listen, if me getting the Suicune before 11,000 means you dislike the video, I will take that trade-off for any day of the week. I will take this being the most disliked video on YouTube if it meant the Suicune would shine in the next 49 encounters. I'm gonna make a joke in a second that could jeopardize what people think of the integrity of this run. Alright guys, so I just pressed my my guaranteed shiny button on my desk. So now this next Suicune is guaranteed to be shiny. I've now set the odds to 1 in 1. So okay, thank God. It would have been funny, but that happened. Conspiracy theories would have higher than YouTube Rewind 2018. That one was pretty bad. But I mean, dude, it'd be the most disliked video on YouTube if it meant getting this week into the next 42 encounters. I really wouldn't care about that more than a lot of things right now. I get to complete this game, which I really like. I get to start other things next weekend. Because tomorrow I'm probably going to do a really long afternoon stream. I think what my plan with finishing this game is going to be like on stream is one part is going to be, it's probably just going to be 2 parts after the Suicune, and then the run will be over. So after I get the Suicune, it's just going to be a bunch of grinding off camera to get my team up to level. And then it'll be one big stream of me beating all the gym leaders in Kanto and getting to Mount Silver. And then it'll be one short stream, like probably it depends. Probably like a shorter stream where it'll literally just be me maybe doing some minimal grinding in Mount Silver, getting some items, and then fighting Red. Yeah, sometimes hours on games do feel like a lot more than they actually are. Like I played through the entirety of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot and through an entire DLC in like 30 hours. Granted, I didn't do a whole lot of the side quests. I did like a couple of them here and there, but it was me mainly just playing the main story because the side quests were like whatever. And I already feel like I gotta piss. I will take a bathroom break at exactly 11,000. I think I saw somebody get the Suicune at exactly 12,000 encounters. So, who knows, maybe I'll get it at exactly 11,000. Or maybe I'll get it at exactly 12,000 too. That would be kind of funny. Not to down a stranded planet. Fair. 20 more and we hit 11,000. If we get 11,000. Aha. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, this has made me realize a few things. Like, it's one, like, even as somebody that used to shiny, like, that has shiny hunted here and there in the 4096 games, and have gone over odds in those games many times, and stuff like that. It's one thing to see somebody go 11,000, 13,000, 15,000, 20,000 encounters in these games, and it just kind of looks like a really big number. You're like, damn, that person got unlucky. But to physically be the person enduring every single one of those encounters, it's a whole different thing. Like, when I make this long form video, people will see this hunt and be like, damn, he went so long for that Suicune. But nobody will have felt the exact same pain. Nobody will know. Well, I mean, some people have. I mean, if people have done hunt longer than this, then I guess they have. You know what I mean. Alright, 10 left, and we hit 11k. Been 8k encounter since you've joined, yeah. I forgot you only joined us during midway through our Suicune hunt. I think I remember the timeline of literally all my chatters. Like Nick has been here long before this challenge even started. Alex came along, I think, either, like, I think second or third stream of this challenge. Evan, again, has also been here long before this challenge specifically. And he pops in here and there. Midnight showed up a lot later, like, toward the end of the Johto region. Right before I started hunting Ho-Oh. And then Derek showed up, obviously, midway through hunting Suicune, like 2 or 3k in-ish. Actually, maybe before that. I think you showed up, like, pretty much as soon as I started hunting Suicune. Anyways, this is encounter 11,000. I'm gonna go use the bathroom. You guys will see the shiny. I won't check or look at it until I come back from the bathroom. But yeah. Let's see what it is. This is encounter 11,000. There it is. Is it shiny? I will find out in like 2 or 3 minutes. BRB. We back. Alright. Let's continue. Because we can see that wasn't shiny. 11,001. Okay, I understand. 10,000 something was a little too clean of a number for, you know, a shiny. 11,000 something seems, you know, a little bit more legit, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to pick this game's non-existent brain. That is an interesting number to look at. That is a palindrome. Also a really interesting number to look at. So many ones. It's got to be a binary code for something. Too many palindromes, man. Too many. Just want a shiny. I don't care about what the numbers say anymore. Just give me the fucking shiny. POV, the evolution methods that they added in Pokemon Legends of Arceus. That's what your comment reminded me of, Midnight. It's like the most random shit. Shit ton of oxygen. Dude, it's everywhere. I'm kidding. I don't know anything about the game you're playing, so I'm just I'm just being oblivious. Yeah, this is the Lavender Town theme. Good catch. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think we're... Would this be our first quintuple digit number? That's the exact same that we're gonna approach somewhat soon? I think it would be 111111. No, that's not right. That would be sextuple. 11111. 1111. Yes. And that would be our first quintuple digit number that where all the digits are exactly the same. Yeah, that's what I mean, quintuple. I said sextuple because I accidentally said 1 6 times. I said 111111, which is 6. But it's 11111. This would be our first quintuple. In 70 encounters from now, it would be our first quintuple digit number that we, assuming we get there, that we would have gotten that is all the same digit. Hopefully the only time, because the next occurrence of that is 22,222. So, it better be the only occurrence. The thing is, I have no idea. I don't really know too much about No Man's Sky to begin with, so. Yeah. Yeah, no, full odds is not forgiving, to say the least. Die to fall damage, that one's pretty common. Like, fall damage is such a... I feel like any game with fall damage is, like, so common to die by that. Any game that has some sort of fall damage mechanic. It's always, like, one of the most common ways to die in a game with that mechanic. Especially for me, because I'm a clumsy fuck. Oh. They did one too many numbers. There we go. I think there's a reason I don't usually count encounters on my own time when I do shiny hunts. Because I think seeing how long I've gone, I feel like is more demotivating than anything. But also, at the same time, it is kind of nice in its own ways. To know all the work I'm putting in, instead of having to estimate how long I've gone. So I'm not sure. It's a love-hate relationship. Pardon my yawning. I'm just intrigued to see how this looks on my screen, because seeing a shiny on like a YouTube video or something, like obviously that is pretty much what it looks like, but it looks just like a little cooler just seeing it on your own screen. Like the colors seem like they pop a little bit more, like especially the white on Ho-Oh. Like it looks more saturated when it's on the feedback on YouTube, whereas it looks so bright, like pearly white on my screen. Not in the back sprite. The back sprite, it looks grayer, but in its front sprite, it looks like the beak and the white parts of it look really white. So I'm curious to see if there's some sort of similarities in that respect with Suicune when it shows up. Yeah, the brightness of the monitor doesn't get picked up. That's another thing. I don't know, the colors just seem like they pop so much more. The change seemed the most dramatic, specifically with Ho-Oh, though. Although Eevee also... Definitely, I remember being quite an interesting one to look at on my own screen as well. Do-do-do-do. 100 more encounters. We will be 3,000 over odds. Jeez. I hate that my brain keeps picking up on these things as I'm going through, like, specific milestones, even after I'm already over the odds. Like, yeah, 11111 is incoming. Right? I said that right? 1111. Yes. 11111. Here it is, 11,100. Alright, so you beat everything else by a long shot, alright? You blew all of my other shiny hunts out of the water, alright? Let's just shine and go home and have a Merry Christmas, alright? You won. Alright, well, we get to see the first and hopefully only instance of a quintuple digit number where all the numbers are the same. Look at that. 11,111. 11111. That also is a palindrome, by the way. I should also put out there. Because obviously, since it's all the same number, it can be read the same forwards and backwards. It's just more notably all the same number. Suicune's in another castle. I think there is technically a way to encounter Suicune once again as a soft reset. Like, I think if you defeat it here or kill it here, I think it spawns again back at the Burn Tower after you beat the Elite Four the second time around. Or if you get all 8 badges, one or the other. I'm still just gonna hunt it here, because, like, Although it's tempting to get more gameplay, I feel like I'm not going to feel satisfied playing through more of the game without first getting this weekend. It'd be annoying to start this, stop this, to play through more of the game, just to go back to hunting this anyways. Like, I might as well just get it done now. Whenever that is. Whether it's this weekend, next weekend, the weekend after, God forbid, past and fucking that, that would already be crazy. Revenge on Bill. That too. If it moved to the burn tower, I would get it first encounter. Because it would be no longer as associated with Bill. So I have to... This is about beating Bill at this point. Hold on, I want to search something up real quick. If I get to 11,479 encounters, which is going to literally be 21 encounters right before I end tonight's stream, assuming I go all the way to the end of, stream, that means that it will have hit, this combined with Eevee's encounter total will be 20k. That's crazy. The thing is, we won't even have Shine yet, so I was gonna go by that point, assuming we get there, so it'll go above 20k if we make it there. By how much? I'm not sure. At this point, we're just in fucking no man's land. Oh, God, every time I adjust, my chair needs to let it be known to everybody in chat that I'm adjusting my chair. I love that. Love it. Ooh. Kind of ran out of cool things to talk about. I mean, blame it on Suicune. You can only talk about so many things, before, I fucking get old. This Suicune might outlive me at this point. I guess one thing we could talk about is, I know I said I was going to do a Platinum Hardcore Nuzlocke, but I'm willing to change that challenge if y'all know about any, patches for a Gen 4 game that you think I'd find fun. I'm doing a hardcore Nuzlocke because I mean, I think it'd be fun, but also because it's, you know, it's the only thing I can really think of. But if you don't know any patches for Platinum, for like a ROM, that you think I'd find interesting, that is kind of Nuzlocke-esque, ideally, but anything, I'll take any suggestions. Let me know. I'm aging too. Sure you ain't as old as me. I'm not gonna ask your age because I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to be intrusive, but. Ooh, I've heard of Renegade Platinum. What is it again? I've heard it's good. I forget exactly what Renegade Platinum is. Just a challenging version of Platinum. Sacred Gold. Well, I'm thinking of specifically patches for Platinum, because I want to play Platinum after this. Oh, yes. Because I know they have something like that for Emerald, too, where you can basically just choose the difficulty, or it just, like, makes the game a little bit more difficult. I think what could be interesting is if I did a not hardcore Nuzlocke in that, since the game is already naturally harder. So I would get rid of the hardcore Nuzlocke rules, which would basically just mean that I can use items in battle, and I can have switch instead of set mode. Level caps might still be something that I introduce, though. If I were to do that. Oh, no. Perhaps. That actually could be a good idea. Really just ROM hacks. That's what I meant. But like some ROM hacks function as like a patch. Like the way that you put them onto the ROM itself, or insert them into the ROM itself. Platinum reworks some Pokemon to make them more viable with either some base stats or new moves, and also gym leaders have much more challenging teams. Huh. I wouldn't Nuzlocke it, it'd be way too hard. Okay. So I guess it depends what I would want to do more then. I've already done Nuzlocks before. I think maybe people would... I guess what would people want to watch more? I could save a Nuzlocke for a different game. Because a Nuzlocke is something that I could do for any game, but specific difficulty enhancers and ROM hacks like that like, you don't always come by. Like, I could always save a Nuzlocke for a different game. I could save Nuzlocke for me playing Omega Ruby or something. Like, just one day when I'm, like, bored and I want to stream something and I, don't have as many ideas, I could stream my pretty much my favorite Pokemon game and Nuzlocke that. Radical Red's probably a future idea. I know this sounds crazy, but I think if I get adventurous enough, I might do some Kaizo attempts on Fire Red. I've already done a few. I've had a few that have made it out of the lab, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I would ever fully commit to Kaizo, though, because the problem with Kaizo is that, you're going to have to reset a Kaizo run and re-randomize it about as many times as you would need to reset for a fucking shiny before you beat that fucking run. And I'm not sure if I want to put myself through that, except the resets are a lot longer. The type of ordeal. Yeah, I think I'll do... You know what? You've convinced me, man. I think instead of doing a hardcore Nuzlocke, I'll do... I think Renegade Platinum will be good, because hardcore Nuzlocke could end up actually not working out in case I lose it really quickly, and then I just have nothing. Other than, I guess, retrying the run, of course, but... Renegade Platinum. I think I've gotten too used to doing challenges where it's like, the run needs to have permadeath, or else it's not challenging. But runs can be challenging without having permadeath, and I think doing some sort of ROM hack like that, I think, could be quite fun. So I think I'm gonna do that instead then. I think I'll do Renegade Platinum, and I'll save the hardcore Nuzlocke idea for some other game. Maybe I'll do a hardcore Nuzlocke in Fire Red. Since Fire Red is one of the easier games to Nuzlocke, but it would still be fun, regardless. Also, we passed 3,000 over odds, by the way. Just to put that out there. Yeah, I think I'll do Renegade Platinum instead of the hardcore Nuzlocke. That's actually a good idea. I forgot about Renegade Platinum. Yeah, I guess we'll do that. Get some cool gift Pokemon as well. I think I'll still introduce a level cap rule for that too, though. I'll allow rare candies as usual, like as I would with a Nuzlocke. Just so I don't have to, grind on stream and I can just play through the game at good pace. But I will introduce level caps for the gym leaders and stuff. That way I can work with, like, some cool teams and all that crap. Or maybe I won't. I mean, I'll think about it. I guess it depends how bad the grinding would be. Yeah, but I guess I'll do that. I just have to figure out how to get, I just need to find the ROM hack and then, put it on a platinum ROM that I have. Island Room again, by the way. God, now I really want to play that, but Fortunately, Suicune has other plans. Suicune wants to keep me here just a little longer. I'm just vibing right now. Be vibing a lot more with my shiny Suicune. God knows when that's gonna happen. I know I sound like a record on repeat, constantly mentioning it, but I guess by much you kind of expected for the older games. Fair. I think if I did do infinite rare candies, I think the only clause I would say is like I can only meet the gym leader's level cap once I have beat the trainers in that gym leader's gym, and I can also fight the gym leader, etc. Which, I mean, I guess that entails that, because I don't think you can fight gym trainers without the gym leader being in the gym anyways, but like, meaning like I can only get them up to level cap right before I battle the gym leader. That way I don't have to worry about grinding, or, you know, having to do that on stream. And also, it would make the battles more fair, but still challenging. Because, you know, if I fight them under level, I'm obviously going to just put myself at a disadvantage. Plus, I think it would be cool to team build. And all that. Depending on which gym I'm at. Because grinding is definitely going to be involved at some points, and it's like, as much as I want to stay true to the game and not have to use like rare candies and stuff, it's like, I know nobody's going to want to watch me fucking grind, so yeah, even on speed up that would be annoying. I don't know why, for that specific song, I'd like to mumble along to the baseline. I like that baseline. For the quality of the Pokemon you'll have might offset the grinding. What do you mean by that? Elaborate. Don't want to spoil, but the gift Pokemon are really, really good. Okay, so I guess we'll see. I'll play through the game like normal, and if I feel like it would be like, if I feel like that grinding is going to be like a recurring thing for the gym leaders and stuff, I'll just allow these. I'll throw in that road candy rule. I look, you need to use the bathroom again. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna do this encounter. This is gonna be 11,250 Suicunes. You guys will see if it's shiny. I won't until I come back from the bathroom. Alright. I'll be right back. Ugh. No shiny, that is right, Alex. I like this method. What method? What, the method of me leaving it so you guys can see it before I do? I think that's a thing that everybody does. I mean, I have my own little catchphrase with it. You guys will see if it's shiny, I won't. But I think most shiny hunting streamers do something like that, where if they need to go to the bathroom, they'll leave an encounter on stream for their chat to see before they come back. I think I've only ever seen it happen once to anybody where they came back and it was actually shiny. And it was not in a 198, 192 game. And I think it was like a Masuda method hunt in a later game. So it wasn't super crazy, but it was still pretty cool. I think it was Patters. I forget exactly which shiny it was, but yeah. And it almost happened to Dallas, Supreme Arcanines, who, there's a funny clip of him shiny hunting a Rayquaza, and he went to go to the bathroom, and he came back. He got like a banana, and the encounter after the bathroom encounter. He got the shiny Rayquaza and he goes, I was literally about to eat a banana. Oh yeah, Midnight sent a video in the group chat. How many encounters does it take? I said I really wanted it to happen tonight if I wanted to get this challenge done this weekend. I've only got so many chances left before I call it a stream. I do still have Sunday, but I won't be able to finish the game if I get it tomorrow. You know what I mean? So I'd have to wait till next weekend to finish all the gameplay, which, I mean, granted, better than, you know, not having the shiny, still having to hunt it next weekend. But in an ideal world, I get it tonight. I can continue, I can grind before tomorrow afternoon stream. We can beat all the gyms tomorrow afternoon. And then I can have Red be his own stream. Even though it would be a short stream. I would have plenty of time to grind, but I want Red to be his own separate stream, and I might have to grind for that one as well. But I guess what I could do is, if I got the Suicune early on Sunday, I mean, I could just grind on stream, although that would be boring. I guess that'd be more enjoyable than watching this, so... I guess one grinding session on stream wouldn't kill me. It would just be boring to watch, is all I would want, but I'm sure this isn't any more boring. And then I could beat the gyms all on that stream. And then I could, you know, right before I fight Red, I would go off stream, do some more grinding, and then when I come back on stream later that night, it would be like a really short stream. But I want Red to be his own stream. I feel like it's a pivotal moment in the run. Even if it's like literally like a 30-minute stream, maybe even less. I feel like it would just be kind of cool to make it its own stream. Just so I have it. I'd rather watch something than nothing fair. Alright, so I guess we'll see them. Also, Derek, I notice every time I say the word ideal, you say ideal question mark. I'm not sure what that's a reference to. I'm not picking up what you're putting down, man. We eating good after this weekend. I'm not going to be doing much shiny hunting on stream for a while. I'm not sure if I'm even going to be doing shiny hunting in general for a while. Even on my own time. And this weekend alone has burnt me out. But I mean, I have to get it. Yeah, I have no idea what he's saying, guys. I have no idea what Derek's referencing. Alright. We got 200 encounters left. I'm gonna call it for the night. Oh, it's a Limbus Company reference, okay. One square floor, 4 walls, and a roof. Or created a, not necessarily a 1x1, but sure it's nice and cozy in there. Actually, I mean, I guess it technically could be a 1x1. I don't know how tall the walls are. I'm not sure your character would fit in a 1x1. The walls are the same size as the floor. Oh, well, there you go. It's about as small as you can make the house, presumably. That's funny. And even the thought of playing a game that isn't this right now, just the thought of that is like putting a smile on my face. Can't wait till it's a reality. I mean, granted, when I'm off stream, I do play games. Like, I've mainly just been playing fighters. Like, when I'm not on stream, I'm playing Dragon Ball FighterZ. Dude, I've been putting belt to ass on people the last few days on fighters, bro. Just literally belt to ass. And I went up against some good people today, and I like washed some Twitch streamer. Like, some dude it was like one of those guys on fighters who, like, had like TTV in his name, and like one of his tags was like, "You're being broadcasted" or whatever. And he beat me first set, but then I absolutely mopped him in he beat me first in the first round of the set, and then I absolutely mopped him in the next 2 rounds. Like, almost perfected him. Absolutely mopped him. I've been cooking on fighters recently. Because I'm getting a little better at my defense. My defense used to like absolutely suck and I'd panic too much, but now that I'm like decent at defense, like I'm okay. I'm like not horrible anymore. Because my combos were already pretty sound. It was just the defense was an issue, but I've fixed it a little. And that was enough to make me do a lot better. Because usually I'm like a red or sometimes a pink square, but if I'm on a really bad streak, I'll get yellow squared. And dude, every time I get put up against yellow squares, I feel like I'm smurfing. I feel so bad. But it's because there are some red squares out there that are like better than pink squares, and then I get put up against them, and I'm like, well, fuck. And then I just have to put belt to ass to some people that are like yellow squares. I'm like, well, sorry, like it's not my fault. Yeah, the last 3 days I've been cooking on fighters. So in fighters there's 2 different ranking systems. There's like the actual ranked like play, which is like it's like a point system, like in any fighting game where your points go up the more opponents that you beat, and you get different titles depending on how high your points are. But then there's also a system of colored squares that pop up near your name, which indicate how high level of an opponent you are. Which it exists because some people just play casuals and they don't play ranked and might have literally 0 of those points but could still be really good at the game. And the system starts off at white square, which means that you don't have a ranking, you're unranked. And then it goes, I think, blue, like dark blue and light blue, which means that like you're really not good at the game, like you're just getting started, you're either a beginner or you just suck. And then there's dark green, which is like you're still pretty bad, but like you're better than blue, than either of the blues. Then there's light green, which means you're starting to make some progress, but like you could definitely be better. Then there's yellow, which is like you're most of the time you're okay, you're decent at the game. Then there's red, which means like most of the time you're good. And then pink is like the best one. Pink means like you're nasty. The pink is, well, the square could also change in normal ranked as well, but they have 2 ranking systems for some reason, but I think the squares are cool. And usually I stick between red and pink, which are the top 2. But sometimes if I play really bad, I get dropped to yellow, because there are some nasty red squares out there, which happens sometimes because since there's no rank after pink square, it's such a wide range of people. Like, pink square could be some dude who's like just pretty decent at combos and like knows what he's doing most of the time. But pink square could also be like one of the top players in the world. And if you get paired up, if those 2 get paired up, obviously the dude who's like still pretty nasty but obviously not like world class is going to get red squared, and then you get put up against that dude in red square, and then you get yellow squared by proxy, if that makes any sense. But yeah, the fucking Twitch streamer I was going up against, I think was like globally in like the top 8,000, and I was able to beat him twice of 3 rounds, so clearly I'm decent. There should be, but I mean, I feel like at a certain point it'd be hard to keep track of. So I understand why there isn't. Most people that are world class play on ranked anyways, so it's not like a very common issue. I only really play casuals. I don't really care about unranked in terms of my BP. I just like playing the game. I'll probably stream some more fighters when I get the chance. You don't find anyone after waiting 20 minutes? Fair. Casual's nice because you can filter by whatever. You can literally filter it to be like, I'll fight fucking anybody. Fighters is so fun when you're good at it, though. It's like the case with most fighting games, but when you're really good at a fighting game, it is so fun. Being bad at a fighting game can get really boring, because it's just you losing over and over again, but once you get good, it's quite fun. Still no one shows up, yeah. That's crazy. That's interesting because I never have that issue. Like sometimes it'll take a minute, but like it will never usually take more than like 1 or 2 minutes to get a match. And usually it takes way less than that. Yeah, I'm not world class at that game or anything. I'm talking like I'm like one of the best players in the world. I'm nowhere near that level, but compared to the average person that plays that game, I would like to think I'm at least above average. Sure, once I beat your ass enough times. Oh, are you leaving, Derek? I'm not sure if you sent a message or didn't send. I'll see you next stream, hopefully, and I will continue to call this TV fans special about their games. It's fair. Well, if you gotta go, Derek, you gotta go. I'll catch you next time. But yeah, yeah, that's funny that you say that, Midnight, because I remember my friend Travis, who, you guys know Travis. I have a Fighters short with me playing, which, by the way, you should watch that short. It's a very funny short. It's me playing Dragon Ball Fighters with my friend Travis and my other friend Gamerboy. And I remember when I started playing with him specifically, I had already been playing Fighters for a while. I have been playing Fighters on and off since it came out. But I remember when I started playing with him, he's like, listen, I know I'm way worse than you, but like, I know if you beat my ass enough times, eventually I'll get better. But the thing is, I was beating his ass so hard that, like, there wasn't even much to gain from it. Like, even my friend Gamerboy, who's, like red to pink square level, like, there were times where I beat his ass so bad in that game where he would just start doom scrolling on TikTok in the middle of my combos. Every time I come off of a layoff on this game, though, like, I play so bad. Like, when I came back to playing this game for the first time in months when the raid came out, I was playing worse than them on occasions. Part of it was because I feel like my connection could have been better, and also my freaking inputs on my controller were being really sketchy at times, and also the AI is just really unpredictable, but I was just playing so bad in the raids. Despite me, like, being able to, like, crush them in 1v1s, like, they were doing better than, like, not Travis, but Gamerboy specifically was doing better than me in the raids. I can just DM you the short. Let me see if I can find it while I'm doing this. That's 76. Found it. Oh, that is already playing. Alright, let me send you at midnight. Hold on. There you are. There you are. Oh! I just realized what I did. Well, it doesn't really matter because I didn't encounter it. So it's not like I re-rolled the number in any way, but that's funny. Oh yeah, I forgot that those were clips from a live stream that I did. Good rule of thumb, never drop the word wild out. You're saying a whole lot of gibberish to me right now, Derek. I'm not gonna lie. These combos were clean. I have some pretty good ones. I'm at the point now where I can kind of just make up TODs if I want to. I need to put more work into my defense. If I put as much work into my defense as I did my offense, I'd be a weapon of mass destruction. Playing fighters with them is so fun, though. They hate it because, you know, my combos can be really long sometimes, and they get a little frustrated, but there are times when me and those two play fighters together, and it's really fun. Well, it's looking like Suicune is not going to show its face tonight, unfortunately. It is really fun. I really enjoy fighters. Dude, my brother's nasty. My brother... He's really good at the game, because he's been playing fighting games his whole life, and he's been around longer than I have. So, he's on a different level. Like, he's not quite, like, you know, like, world class, but, like, he's really good. Like, he could be my ass any day in that game. Every time I beat my friend's asses really hard in that game, they're like, dude, you gotta, like, chill out. And I'm like, if you guys saw me fighting my brother in this game, I would look helpless. He's really good at that game. Like, he used to join, like, during, like, his, like, prime of playing that game, he would, like, join tournaments. Like, that were being hosted on Twitch, and he would, like, join those tournaments. He would never, like, win, but he'd, you know, make it a decent way through the tournament with people who are, like, some of the best players that you could find in North America. Yeah. I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't put my worst enemy through 10 sets against my brother in that game. Hollandrum, by the way. I think if I fought my brother in 10 sets, I think there's a chance I would maybe win 1 or 2 rounds. Maybe. Maybe. But I think it's also a pretty good chance I would just get swept the entire time. I can definitely at least take characters off of him, though. At the absolute least, I can take characters off of him. But he's nasty. He's nasty. But just to put this into perspective, me and my friend Travis, you guys know about, I've talked about a bit, did this one challenge. Like, you know how, like, there's a lot of characters on the arcade screen? We did, like, this freaking, like, not really, like, battleships, like, this sort of, like, territory type of, like, way of playing the game, where you start on one end of the arcade screen on a certain character, and the other person starts on the other end, and you pick a team of 3, and you go across the entire arcade screen until you take over the entire board. And, which, you know, is a lot of matches to play. We were playing fighters matches for like 3 hours, and I think he only ever took 1 round off of me that entire time. We probably played anywhere between 30 to 50 rounds, maybe even more. With teams that, some characters I may have not even ever touched before. That I was just trying to figure out mid-match. I felt so bad for him. Yeah, I saw the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I told you about it, Alex. I saw it with my friends. I thought it was decent. I liked the movie. It's not like the best movie I've ever seen in my life, but it wasn't shit. I found it enjoyable. I'm still gonna stay till the end of these streams because you don't want to miss the shiny. Well, I'm not exactly sure if it's gonna happen tonight anyways, but I respect that, Derek. I do respect that. I like Fox as a good crossover. From what I heard from my friend, apparently a whole movie with Fox or a game or something, like a new game, got leaked. Which is why they put him in the Mario Galaxy movie so that they could, like, you know, soft launch it. But leakers already know, like, that there's gonna be some new game with Fox, or like some new movie with Fox in it. Which is why they did that crossover. You don't got much time left, chat. Stream flew by though. I was flying through encounters. I didn't really take many breaks either. So, yeah, we made pretty good pace today. Hmm. $50 left, guys. That's it. That's all we're doing. 50 more. Always such a joy when the Little Root theme comes on. One of my favorite Pokemon themes ever. Reminds me of the good old days of playing Hoenn, even though I played Hoenn in the last few months. I don't know what I'm talking about. Still feels nostalgic anyways. Also, I do want to apologize for the chat issues I was having earlier. I looked back and I could see your chats that were being made when I looked on YouTube, but it just wasn't showing up on my OBS chat, like, live update. I feel bad for that. You're making me pretty tired. You're telling me. I'm tired of this thing. I've been tired of this thing for the last few thousand encounters. Waiting for it to give me a reason to wake up. Less than 40 to go. Oh, there's been such a weird shift recently with my streams. Like, it used to be I would have more energy during my afternoon streams, and then I would not be as lively during my night streams, and now I feel like it's completely flip-flopped. I'm not exactly sure why. I don't know, maybe it's just a little caffeine I had from the Diet Coke. Not exactly sure. It's a very strange question, Alex. I was born in New York. My birthday's not July 11th. My birthday's February 28th. Born February 28th, 2006 is my birthday. You gotta find a way to phrase these questions though, Alex. Some of them are a little sudden and come off slightly strange at times, but you're good. Could just ask when my birthday was. Yeah, I'm 20 years old. 20-year-old man playing Pokemon in his bedroom on a Saturday night. Almost a Sunday morning. I think I'm gonna end pretty cleanly at like midnight at this pace. That's cool. Oh shoot, midnight, you're 20 as well. I found somebody of my own age in my chat. I mean, I would treat it like it's rarer than it is, but I mean, a lot of my friends watch my content, and they're around my age, if not older. Guess you're Gen Z? Yeah, I'm younger. Am I younger? Yeah, I'm younger Gen Z. Actually, I'm more like somewhere in the middle. I think I am technically younger for Gen Z, though. I remember the Pokemon Black and White games being released, like, when I was very young. Like, when I was, like, a little kid, I remember. I think I remember playing through those games. I remember just having a Riolu. I remember really liking Riolu as a kid. But the first game I can vividly remember playing all the way through was Pokemon Omega Ruby. But I think the first Pokemon game I ever had, like ever, was Pokemon. It was either Pokemon Black or White, and I don't remember which one. I just remember it was a Gen 5 game. First Pokemon game was Pokemon Sun. It's a good one. Ultra Moon was like I think the next game I played after Omega Ruby, or it might have been Diamond. I think after I got the Omega Ruby games, I think the next one I went for was like a Gen 4 game. Because I remember I had like a big phase where I was just trying to play through as many different Pokemon generations as I could. And after Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I got Pokemon Diamond, and then I think after that I might have gotten Ultra Moon. I remember, and then I think I got Black 2 online. Like I ordered it online. And then my brother let me borrow like a copy of White 2 from his friend. I never technically finished those games though. I got close to finishing them and then I never actually did. So I technically haven't finished a game from every generation. Because I've never fought Iris technically. Maybe that's something I'm going to have to do at some point. We're going to have to do some sort of challenge in Pokemon Black or something. Maybe just a fucking playthrough. Although I feel like that'd be kind of lame. You gotta spice it up a little. We got 5 encounters left, by the way. And I was also pretty spot on. It's gonna be midnight by the time this finishes. Yeah, and then I hadn't played a Gen 6 game. It was like the only one I had, only generation. Kalos was the only generation I hadn't played through in any capacity for a while until very recently, where I finally figured out how emulators work. And Kalos and Pokemon X was pretty good. I enjoyed it. The Direct Sack Metapunish. Jesus Christ, dude. That was fucking awful. And yeah, it's literally midnight. literally just turned midnight as I was about to do this last encounter. Alright, guys. We've hit the last encounter of the night. Let's do a little dance. Let's give Yucine a little kiss. And let's encounter the Suicune. It's 11,500. Alright. We're not there yet. Not there yet. We'll be back tomorrow to pick this up yet again. And if it doesn't happen tomorrow, we'll be back to hunt it yet again the following weekend. But tomorrow night at this same time, you know, assuming the world doesn't explode or I make crazy plans or any of those things, we will hit 13,000 by tomorrow night, assuming we get that far. If not, we will have to come back next weekend, as I said, to settle the score with the Suicune. And hopefully it won't take longer the next weekend if we don't get it tomorrow. God willing. Alright. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for sticking with this hunt. This is going quite a while. Probably my longest hunt to date at this point. Although, I'm not exactly sure, but definitely. I wouldn't say my unluckiest, because I think I've gone over odds. Like, depending on what the odds were, I think I've gone like 4 or 5x the odds before, and I'm not there yet. I'm not even at 2x the odds for this yet, but I hope I don't even have to go to 2x the odds for this. God willing. Alright. I'm blabbering. I'll be back tomorrow. And let's hope it's tomorrow. And if not, we'll be back this weekend, which I've said like 5 times. Alright. Thanks y'all for joining. Yeah. That's about it. I'll see y'all tomorrow.